Nothing, nothing, family, nothing will stop me from doing, of course, miracles every day. Nothing, nothing. I'm coming to you from airport, from Houston Airport. I left Mexico this morning. I am with my daughters. I'm meeting my daughters later on this evening. We are going to be going off for a little soiree this weekend because my baby girl turns 21 on 4/2. On April 2nd, my baby will be 21. Now, if you're watching this in 2022, this is her birthday weekend. If you're watching this, let's say in 2222, well, we're all no longer on the planet unless they came up with a real good life preservation technique. All right, so we are here for A Course in Miracles lesson 90, which is a review. This morning, thank you, thank you, thank you for being so patient with me because this morning why did late last night? I was packing. I was getting ready for the weekend, flying out for the weekend, and I thought my flight left at 11:30 the next morning. So I'm like, I have plenty of time. I checked my flight last night. It said 7 a.m. I'm like, what? So that was a little bit of a shift, and I scheduled the flight at 7, knowing that A Course in Miracles ACIM is at 5 a.m. because we haven't changed our times yet. Hey, Coach Michelle, how you loving? I was just listening to y'all on Clubhouse. It was beautiful, beautiful, and I love Dr. G was share. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. I was listening to the recording, um, and y'all killed it this morning. I love it. I love it. I love it. So. Uh, I scheduled that. I originally booked that flight at 7 a.m. because I knew that I do ACIM at 5 a.m. So I was like, oh, I'll get to the airport like 4:30. I'll be all set up with some nice Wi-Fi. And at 5, I'll already be checked in and through security. And at 5, I'll just go live for like 30 minutes, do honor my commitment, hand it off, and I'll still be real early for my, flight. It did not quite go that way. Hey, Aurora Day, how you loving? Mwah. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? So, family, here we are. We are at day 90 of A Course in Miracles. And so, if you haven't been joining us with A Course in Miracles, I do want to let you know that we are on every single day at 7 a.m. This morning, I was with you at 7 a.m. briefly, just to let you know that I would be coming back to you for the reading of A Course in Miracles later on today. And here I am. I'm here to follow through on my commitment. And we got to read it every day. We got to read it every day. We just got to read it every day. And pardon me, there was a phone call coming through. That was my daughter. I need to let her know. She just landed in New Orleans. We've been texting in the group family chat this morning. And so she already landed in New Orleans. So we're all converging on New Orleans today. I'm in Houston for a minute. And really, what this is telling us is this is showing us that you can do your daily spiritual practice from anywhere in the world, no matter what you're doing in your life. There is no excuse not to stop, pause, breathe, go within, have a moment, read A Course in Miracles. You can be in the airport, you can be in the store, you can be in the acupuncturist office about to get your, beautiful acupuncture session, and you're sitting there in the waiting room. Wherever you are, you can still practice. We practice every day, no matter where we are. So I'm coming to you from the Houston airport. Okay? All right, let's have a deep breath in a moment to connect, align, breathe. Breathe and give thanks for your life. What an incredible life you have. Breathe and know that all is well. Everything is perfect. Everything is working out perfectly for you. Your life is a stellar example of what God living looks like. Your life is graceful, full of ease. It's beautiful. It's lovely. You're healthy. You're thriving. You're sexy. You're with a beautiful, amazing boo. You travel the world. You're in luxury. You're in happiness. You're in complete fulfillment. You're providing services and offerings to the world that they love. Oh, you're in your glory. You're walking in your destiny. You're all that and a bag of chips. Ashe, amen. So mote it be. Let's do this. Today is a review of lesson 90. I'm reading the lesson from the course in front of me, and I am coming to you from, as I said, the Houston airport. Okay, here we go. Lesson 90 is a review of two ideas. Here's the two ideas that we are reviewing. We are reviewing, pardon background sound, I'm in the airport. The two ideas that we are reviewing today is lesson 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. And lesson 80, let me recognize my problems have been solved. Now, if you do not have A Course in Miracles, the blue book by the Foundation for Inner Peace, all good. You can go to acim.org and follow along. Why are we in this? We're in this because A Course in Miracles provides 4 books in one. And the part of the book that we're focused on is the manual for students. There's a manual for teachers, workbook for students. There's a manual for teachers and there's a workbook for students. The workbook for students is 365 daily lessons. Why? Because an untrained mind can accomplish nothing. So you and I are doing this together every day for 365 days straight. Let's do it. Let's do it. Just lock arms with me and just commit. Just say yes. And watch your life skyrocket. Our lives have skyrocketed. All of us who made this commitment, our lives have skyrocketed since January 1st. Actually, we made the commitment in November. The uplifting started in November. And here we are on day 90, and we have not missed a day yet. And we're on 4 platforms every single day. We're on YouTube at the Reverend Valerie Love Facebook YouTube channel. We're on the Christian Witches YouTube channel. We're on the Reverend Valerie Love Facebook fan page. And we're in the Christian Witches Club on Clubhouse. All the links are right below this vid. Click them. Connect with us. Connect. Yes? Connect. So we're connected. Lesson 90. For this review, we will use these ideas. 79. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. You cannot solve a problem if you don't know what it is. Let me realize today that the problem is always some form of grievance that I would cherish. The problem is always one thing. The problem is always one thing. Tell yourself, the problem is always one thing. It is some form of grievance that I would cherish. I want to be right. I don't want to let go of what somebody said, did. They hurt me. My mama should have never done that. My daddy should have never done that. The problem is always the same thing, but with some grievance that I don't want to let go of. And it doesn't only say that I don't want to let go of the grievance. I cherish the grievance. I want it. I cherish it. I love it. I hold it dear to me. What someone did, what they did. Let me also understand that the solution is always a miracle with which I let the grievance be replaced. The problem is always a grievance that I don't want to let go, that I want to cherish because I'm right. I want to be right, right? The ego wants to be right. And what is the solution? The solution is always a miracle. What is a miracle? An expression of love. Today, I would remember the simplicity of salvation, saving myself from my crazy mind. That's salvation. Saving myself from hell. Today, I would remember the simplicity of salvation. It's not complex. It's not complicated. By reinforcing the lesson, there is one problem and one solution. See, when we first studied this lesson, lesson 79, go back and look at day 79. And you will see that when we discuss lesson 79, one of the things the Course warned us about, there was a great warning in that lesson. And the warning that gave us, hey, how you loving Lynn and Rena loving Light and Angel and Aurora Day? Hey, peeps, how you loving? Don't mind me looking sleepy from earlier today. I slept for about 3 hours or something like that, 4 hours. I had a little nap on the plane, so... So when we originally studied lesson 79, we became very aware. The Course gave us a warning. What was that warning that the Course gave us? The Course gave us the warning that we think we have many problems, health problems, or you got to have different problems that require different solutions. Oh, I got health problems, so I got to go get some health solutions. Oh, I got relationship problems, I got to go get some relationship solutions. Oh, I got kid problems, I got to go get some kid solutions. I got job problems. I got work problems. I got business problems. I got to get business solutions. No, 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 no. You don't have a lot of problems. You don't have a lot of problems. You don't have a lot of problems. You have one problem and one solution. What is the problem? The problem is separation. We think that we are separate from them, they, the universe, fill in the blank. Separation is the only problem. Separation is the only problem. So there's only one problem. That one problem has already been solved. Now, how does separation show up as a grievance? It says the problem is a grievance, the solution is a miracle. The problem is a grievance. I'm seeing things that's not there. I'm seeing something that's not there. I'm upset for something, for a reason other than what I think. I'm upset because I see something that is not there, right? One problem, separation, and in that perception of separation, grievances arise. What's a grievance? I don't like how they do that. I don't like what they said. I don't like what they did. They hurt my feelings. They shouldn't do that. Will Smith shouldn't have slapped Chris Rock. Blah, 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 blah. All your shoulds, judgments, those are grievances. All your irritations, you get on my nerve. Would you please stop doing that? Those are grievances. All your memories of past hurts. Yeah, because back in third grade, you called me ugly. I never forgot that. Really? Grievances. What's the solution? Miracles. And as I invite the solution to come to me through my forgiveness of the grievance and my welcome of the miracle that takes its place. So basically, what we're saying here is that I am inviting the solution to come to me through my forgiveness of the grievance. How do you get the solution? How do you get in peace after you've been in hell? How do you come to bliss within yourself after you had an upset? How do you get yourself back to the kingdom of heaven, back to heaven when you went to hell? How? How do you do it? The way that you do it is that you forgive. Forgiveness, 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 forgiveness. The very one thing that we don't always want to do, right? We don't always want to forgive. We get to forgive. We get to give for. We get to forgive, right? Forgiveness of what? Of the grievance, of the thing that's getting on my nerves, of the things that I don't like, of the things that, I think shouldn't be. Basically, my whole entire picture of the world, get rid of it. Just clear your mind of it. It's all made out. It's all manufactured. And my welcome of the miracle that takes its place. So that means that if I forgive, not only will I come out of hell, I will also allow my grievance to be replaced by a miracle and expression of love. If I forgive. Let's now put some ammo in some arrows in our quiver. Now the Course every day gives us what's called solutions to temptations. What is a temptation? A temptation is it's when we backslide. That's a good term for it because that's what they use in school. When you backslide, right? So what is backsliding? Backsliding is, I'm feeling so good. It's lovely. I'm having a lovely day. I was on A Course in Miracles this morning. I'm smiling. All the world is right. Money came. Money is rained on me from the universe. Oh, it's lovely. And then all of a sudden, here comes somebody. Probably somebody that's very close to you, like your kids, your lover, someone like that. And all of a sudden they say something, you like, see that we just went left. So the Course gives us something in advance for if that ever happens, because this is a big game, this game of life. You're in a big game, and just in case that happens, you have a solution. Here are 3 arrows. This presents a problem to me which I would have resolved. So look at the problem and say, this presents a problem to me that I would have resolved. Don't swirl around in problems. Don't do it. I'm going to have this problem be resolved. Number 2, the miracle behind this grievance will resolve it for me. You see, I'm saying that I know how the thing is going to be resolved. It's not going to be resolved by my smarts. It's not going to be resolved by me thinking I know what to do. It's not going to be resolved by me going and telling somebody else, you need to get yourself together because I know that a miracle is going to resolve this. The answer to this problem is the miracle that it conceals. The answer is the miracle. As long as I am looking at the grievance, what gets on my nerves, what gets me upset, what I don't like, what they need to do different, what this situation needs to change in favor of me, as long as I'm doing that, I cannot see the miracle. You will see the miracle when you forgive. Tell yourself, I'll see the miracle when I forgive. When I forgive this, I'm going to see a miracle. Okay, right now I'm in hell because I took myself to hell with my thoughts. I can get out of hell anytime I want. And I get out of hell in my mind because my mind is what put me in hell. That's lesson 79, lesson 80. Let me recognize my problems have been solved. So lesson 79 was, let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. Lesson 80 is past tense. Let me recognize, again, know that my problems have been solved. I seem to have problems only because I'm misusing time. I seem to have problems only because I'm misusing time. I have nothing better to do with myself other than make up illusions as problems. I believe that the problem comes first and time must elapse before it can be worked out. Look at how we use time to keep problems. I believe that there's a problem, and then I believe that there has to be time in between the problem and the solution because I got to work this problem out. No. I do not see the problem. The answer is simultaneous in their occurrence. The second the problem arises, the solution arises. Problem, solution, they are simultaneous, and you want to just bring them together in your mind. Don't separate the problem and the solution by time. Don't put a big gap in between. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? This is because I do not yet realize that God has placed the answer together with the problem so that they cannot be separated by time. See, the problem and the answer are together. They can't be separated from time by time. It's not the problem over here and the solution 5 years from now. It's not the problem here. Now I got to go for another 10 years before I lose the weight. Or I got to go another 5 years before I build up the portfolio. Or I got to go another 3 years before I fill in the blank. You don't need time. You don't need time. You're a cosmic being. You're quantum leaping all the time. Do you know that there are infinite versions of you and you could just jump to any one of them instantaneously, where that version of you, we call it your doppelganger, has already solved the problem, is living without that problem. You're living with the problem. There's a version of you somewhere in this great, big, vast, fabulous universe that doesn't have that problem. Now, when I first heard, let's put a pin in this for a second and let's just insert some quantum physics in here. Or really, not so much quantum physics, more the nature of reality. When I first heard about quantum leaping to your doppelganger, that means another version of you that exists in a parallel universe, it very much rang true for me. And I started to think and know that I was doing it unconsciously. You probably have already done this unconsciously. The idea is to do these things intentionally according to your intention and desire. And when we say desire, we don't mean these base level desires. I want to hop into bed with this person. I want to get this. I want to get that. I want to get that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the true will, the destiny, your true will, the will of the higher self, the will of the universe. Your will in the universe is one will. When I first heard that, I thought, this is fascinating. And I heard it many years ago from someone who teaches this. He teaches quantum jumping, and he had done it. And he had done it a couple of times. And one time that he did it, he jumped to the version of himself that was a photographer. And this version of himself was like this world-renowned photographer. And he had conversations with that doppelganger. He jumped to that doppelganger. It's called quantum jumping or quantum leaping. And he jumped to that doppelganger and he had conversations with him. And the doppelganger told him what to do in this dimension, in the dimension he was in. He did the exact same thing in that dimension. And he got these stupendous results. Soon his photographs were in museums. Then he was probably in his 80s, I think, when he did this, 70s, 80s. Then he did it again. He had another doppelganger, And this doppelganger was also creative, but this doppelganger was creative in a different way. He was able to paint. He was like such a good painter that, visual artist, that his work also in another dimension, in another, I won't even say another dimension because it was still a third dimensional reality. It was simply in another universe, like a parallel universe, an alternate reality. Because there's many of you. There's many of you. There's countless numbers of you, infinite yous, and I'll show you how this works in a moment. So he went to the other doppelganger, and this doppelganger, his name is Robert Goldman. You could probably look him up. I'll tell you what his website was. Robert Goldman. I think that was his name, Robert Goldman, and it's quantum leaping. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm doing a search for it right now as I'm talking to you. Goldman, quantum leap. Yeah, he taught this. He used to teach this quantum. Quantum jumping. Let me see. Bert Goldman. That's it. Not Robert Goldman. Yep. The 83-year-old. I'm looking at a video right now from him. Meet Bert Goldman, the 83-year-old artist painter. And okay, so basically, he went and find another version of himself. His name is Bert Goldman. It's Burt. So he went and he found another version of himself, and he teaches this. He teaches quantum jumping. The other version of himself, like I said, was this incredible, world-renowned, an incredible painter. And he began to ask this doppelganger questions now about painting. The doppelganger gave him the answers. Bert Goldman put them into practice, and then his paintings then went into the museum. So he has, and I'm telling you, the man, this video, he's 83. The man was already a grown man. He was in his 70s, 80s when he was doing these things. So this can happen for you at any age, anytime you want to. Now, when I first heard that, it was like, bzzz, it was really ringing something in me. And it probably was about, I don't know, maybe it could have been 10 years ago that I heard about him doing this. And I heard about him from Mind Valley. And I was watching Mind Valley and Vishen, Vishen Lakiani of Mind Valley. I was watching Vishen interview him, and I was intrigued. I couldn't turn away. And then I think I bought something of his. It was only like $97 or something. It was very inexpensive. And he taught you, he had like a course, and he taught you how to do this quantum jumping. And I started doing it, and I said, oh my God, this thing is incredible. Now, I didn't know the full mechanics of how that was working when I first did it until I heard this piece. So he gives you all the spiritual protocols, but sometimes when we don't have that, my mind is extremely scientific. I'm an air sign, and I like logic, and I like things that make sense. It's very hard for me to do things that are frou-frou. I'm extremely skeptical also. I'm from New York. And I like my skepticism because I think it's very healthy. I don't tend to believe things. As a matter of fact, I don't like belief because, it's not helpful. I have found that belief is not helpful. I like proof of things. I like making things scientific. I like putting things in order. I love spreadsheets, actually. So there's that side of me that's extremely logical that doesn't just go for something just because, even though my intuition told me, yes, this is it. I love that and I follow that. Yet I am still looking to satisfy. Now, I won't let logic stop me. I yet will still be looking for what are the mechanics of this thing. It's almost like I want to draw back the curtain and see the mechanics and the gears of the universe. Like, how does this work? I'm extremely inquisitive. Here's what linked it together. Did you ever watch that? Now, I've told y'all before about this movie. Well, it's not a movie, it's a series. And it's on Amazon. You must watch it because this shows you this in exact movie form. And sometimes when you see it in movie form or TV show form, it's more easily understood because it's playing out as a drama before you. The name of it is The Man in the High Castle. I want you to go and look at that. The Man in the High Castle. Now, when you watch that show, it's astounding because it is exactly about this, that in another reality, something different had happened. And they were able to tap into that other reality and go visit the other versions of themselves. It's the exact same thing. And art mirrors life. Here is the mechanism by which this is happening. This is going to blow your mind. The building blocks of the universe, of everything in this third dimension, are finite. Now, hear clearly what I'm going to talk about. The building blocks of you, the third dimensional you, are finite, though the universe itself is infinite. The energy in the universe is infinite. Yet the building blocks that we have to create the third dimension are finite. Give you an example. In the English language, we have 26 letters to create words. The whole thing has to be conveyed with 26 letters. If we had infinite letters, it would be possible that you could speak and never use the same letter twice because we have infinite letters. We don't. We don't have infinite letters. We have infinite numbers. Numbers are infinite. There are numbers so big we can't even count them. We don't have infinite letters. What does that mean? It means that then letters have to repeat for us to get the idea. We're only playing with 26 letters. So the letters have to repeat. What does that mean? That means that the building blocks of the universe are finite, that made your third dimensional self. So as the universe is expanding and it's putting together more and more and more things, there has to be a duplicate of you because it ran out of possibilities. Can you fathom how mind-blowing that is? That there's another you, because the way the universe arranges itself in the third dimension is finite. It doesn't have infinite different ways of expression, even though it has a lot of ways of expression. It's not infinite. You see, so let's say the building blocks of the universe are 1 million. When it configured those 1 million different possibilities, we know it's more than a million because it's 8 billion different people. Somewhere along the road, it has to create another Earth because that configuration would come back around again, because the ways that we can configure things in the third dimension, I hope I'm saying this clearly enough, are finite. Now, when you really understand this concept, and I'm putting it extremely simple in layman's terms because I love reading quantum physics and all these things that I don't really deeply understand, yet when I grasped this, I sat back and was like, oh my God, there are probably a million me's. There probably are a million of you. There's probably a million Earths. There's probably a million. Yeah. Yeah. So you can get in contact. And like I always tell people, there's the crackhead me all the way up to the queen me and everything in between. There's all the, like those yous that are in alternate dimensions made different choices. So their life will look very different. You will meet up with a version of yourself that looks exactly like you, yet has made very different choices and has a very different life than you. And that's what Bert Goldman found out. Is that incredible? Is that mind blowing? That's worth price of admission right there. I don't see some super chats on that one. Let me tell you something. That will rock your whole world. Now, why are we talking about this with this? The reason that we're talking about this is because we must understand the simultaneous nature of the universe. Don't put time in there. You get rid of time. What you want to understand is that it's all happening now. Like the you that already has the solution to your problem is already here now. It is this. I want to jump up and run around this whole airport. The you that looks fabulous. Okay, so Angel, the you that looks just the way you want to look, that's already sexy, she already exists now. Like they're all stacked on top of each other for not a better way of saying it, or they all are existent in different points in the universe. They're not separated by time. They're all existing now, simultaneous. So what we're saying is, because we have been so heavily indoctrinated into linear reality. First this comes, and this comes, and this comes, and this comes. No, no, no. So we think that to build a huge business is going to take you a lot of time to become what. Haven't you seen people that were like what they call overnight successes? Of course we have. You know, we look at people that were working, and then is that mind blowing? It's mind blowing, isn't it, Angel? When you really get this, and Kevin Wealthy, how you loving? Mwah, how you loving, Kevin? When you really get this, you will stop in interjecting time because you're not, well, I got to build up my YouTube channel. I got to build up my body. I got to build up. No, you don't. Because once you know it's available to you right now, and once you know that there is actually a version of you that is living it right now, jump to that version of you. That's exactly what they did in that show, Man in a High Castle. They just went to the other alternate reality, and it was the exact same people doing different things. Because that other you is making different choices. Now, the you that's here may be eating chips and watching Netflix. That you could be a famous baseball player, could be um, a famous artist, could be, that was Burt Goldman, a famous photographer, a famous artist. Okay? So why are we saying this? Once again, we're saying this because the course is telling you the same thing. You've got to learn how to read these things and see the connectivity of the whole universe. That is saying the problem and the answer are simultaneous. Don't interject time. Now, the Holy Spirit will teach me this if I will let him. And some people see the Holy Spirit as a he, she, they. It doesn't matter. The Holy Spirit doesn't care. What is the Holy Spirit? The voice for God inside of you, capital V, voice. The voice inside of you doesn't really care what you call it. It is a voice of higher self, right? Or source, or the creator, or Jah, Jehovah, Allah, all the beautiful names we have for creator. Yes, source, the infinite field, or the quantum field of quantum physicists. I really like quantum physics because it explains to me a lot of things that I was really asking questions for. And I feel like quantum physics is really a scientific way of talking about spirituality. That's what I really feel like. Everything I've learned about quantum physics, I'm like, oh my God, we do all that in spirituality. It shows me why it works. It shows me the mechanics of the universe. Now, I will understand it is impossible that I could have a problem which has not been solved already. I'm going to say that again. When you listen to this V voice inside of you, hear this. I will, somebody please put this in the chat. Family, please put this in the chat. I will understand it is impossible that I could have a problem which has not been solved already. Why didn't I know this when I was 20 and crazy? Why didn't I know this when I was 28 and 28, 29, 30 in my Saturn return and about to take myself out with a bottle of pills? Why didn't I know this? It is impossible for you to have a problem that has not already been solved. I feel like I need to jump up and run around this whole airport right now. It is impossible. Did you see it says, and I will understand. It is impossible that I could have a problem which has not been solved already. Mic drop. I mean, what more do we need? I don't need nothing else. From now on, you look at every single problem you have, every single one, and you say to yourself, okay, where do I need to understand that this problem has already been solved? How do I need to look at it so that I can see that this problem has already been solved? Because it's impossible for me to have a problem that has not already been solved because the problem and the solution came simultaneous and they're in your mind. What part of my mind must I access so that I can see the solution that has already been provided for this problem? It's impossible for me to have an unresolved problem. Wow. Okay, here are 3 arrows you're going to put in your quiver just in case you need a good, you have a moment where you think you have a problem. You have a moment where you think you have a problem. Now, you don't really have a problem that's not been solved. It's impossible for you as a divine being to have any problem that has not already been solved. Yet, if you do have some temptation to think, oh my God, how am I going to solve this? This is horrible. This is so big. This is, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Pause. PPG, like we say, PPG, pause, breathe, go within. Here's the three things you're going to say. I need not wait for this to be resolved. You don't have to wait for your problems to be resolved. Stop waiting. It's not about time. Okay, I don't have to wait for this to be resolved. Number two, the answer to this problem is already given me if I will accept it. Now, if I will accept it, because probably the answer, it is not going to come in the way that I would expect for the answer to come. The answer is very likely going to be different from what I would expect. And that would be expected because you cannot solve, Albert Einstein said this, you cannot solve a problem with the same level of mind that created the problem in the first place. If my mind created a problem and created seeing a problem, how am I going to go to the problem creator to be the problem solver? That's what most people do. That's what I did for the whole first half of my life. I went to the problem creator, my mind, to try to figure out the problem solve, the solution. That's not how it works. I must go to, if I created seeing a problem down here, now there's no problem that I have that hasn't already been solved by divine mind, because God put the solution with the problem. If I create the problem down here, am I going to solve it down here, or would I go up here to solve it? By remembering, there's a miracle beyond this. Yeah, there's a miracle beyond this. I want to see the miracle. There's a miracle here, and I'm going to see it. Time cannot separate this problem from its solution. I'm not going to let time be a separator in between the problem and the solution. I'm going to bring it together. Is that incredible? Now, after this, what do we know? We know a couple of things. Number one, you know that you don't have it's impossible for you to have a problem that has not already been solved. That alone will change your whole life. Why do you keep having problems? It says, and I will understand it is impossible that I could have a problem which has not been solved already. Bam! Bam, family. You ought to walk around the planet like a spiritual gangster, because there's nothing that can get you. Because anything that presents in front of you, well, this has already been solved. Let me close my eyes and see it. Let me see it already. Okay, what do I need to forgive so I can see that it's already been solved? See, it's already been solved. We can't see it because we're so busy looking at the problem and freaking out. Yeah, I'm going to be different after this. Are you going to be different after this? That's it for today. Tell me how you're going to be different. Let's look in the comments. How are you going to be different based on the information we just got? The sun is coming in the window. How are we going to be different? How are you going to be different based on what we just heard? I'm coming to you from the airport on my way to see my beautiful babies, my beautiful daughters. Angel says, I needed this, Rev. I've been trying to figure out what to do because there was issues with my tax. Oh, Lord, the taxes. The preparer made a mistake. So I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do because I thought girl, I'm ready. Come on. I'm already different. Come on, Kevin Wealthy. Come on, Kevin Wealthy. That's what I'm talking about. Needed it, Angel. I needed it, and now I see this is an opportunity to witness a miracle. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it, Angel. You got it. It's okay. There's a miracle here. There's a miracle behind my grievance. So what do I need to forgive, Spirit, so that I can see the miracle? Because there's some grievance that is in the way. The only reason I have this problem is some grievance is in the way. What must I forgive? And guess what? I don't even know what I need to forgive. I'm just going to forgive everything. I'm just going to ho'oponopono myself. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please forgive me. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just cleaning and cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. Ah, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Love, 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 love. Peace, peace, peace. Joy, joy. You're just cleaning yourself, cleaning yourself, cleaning yourself, and then it would disintegrate. It'll pop and crackle and just fall off. I love you, family. I'm so happy we learned together on a whole new level today that there's no problem that I could have that hasn't already been solved. It's impossible for me to have a problem that has not already been solved. I'm going to watch that film on Amazon right away. Thank you, Kevin. You will love it. It's called The Man in the High Castle. It's a season. It's a show. I think it has like 2 seasons. That thing will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. The Man in the High Castle. Kristen, my problem is already solved regarding needing a job for consistent income. I'm elevating to see the miracle behind this illusion. Yes. Yes. Remember, no one was born when you were little. Let's just look at an example. When you were little and people asked you, what did you want to be? You had the answer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be we usually said like doctor, astronaut, scientist, because these were the things that we revered. They put us in a teacher, they put these archetypes in front of us because they're revered in our culture. No one said, I want to be a shaman. I want to be a witch. I want to be a fully realized divine being. Yeah, no, because those were not archetypes that are treasured by our society. So, in Western culture, so no one said, I want to get a job. Said no 5-year-old ever. What do you want to be when you grow up? Astronaut, I'm going to the moon. When you were 5, you were convinced you were going to the moon. When you were 7, you were convinced you were going to be, I used to say, circus. I want to be in the circus. And, trapeze and eating fire and all that. Those are the kinds of things that your mind naturally did when you were a child. Kristen returned to that. No one said, I need a job. That's pure adulting, and it's dangerous to your health. Adulting is dangerous. It's hazardous to your health. I need to get that T-shirt made. Adulting is hazardous to your health. Why do you think I got this bow on the top of my head to remind me my little inner child is in place? And I think we have a Blue Monkey Day. Oh, no, not today. It's not Blue Monkey. We had a Blue Monkey Day the other day. I was listening to the Galactic Signature today in the clubhouse room. And we do Galactic Signature, and Blue Monkey is all about play. Come on, play. Let your mind go free. Okay, the problem that I think I'm seeing that I don't have enough income has already been solved, because it's impossible for me as a divine being to have a problem that doesn't have a solution. That would be impossible. So why am I looking for a solution, and why am I putting time in between rather than close my eyes, go within, and let it be presented to me? You just wanted to fly. That's right, Angel Spills. That's all you wanted to do. No one, when they were 5, said, I want to have a job. Doing what? Just a job. Yeah. You got you got brainwashed into that. That wasn't your natural way of being. It's not. Kristen and everyone under the sound of my voice, make it. This is one of the greatest gifts I ever gave myself. Make yourself officially unemployable. When you make yourself unemployable and you tell yourself there is no job that can employ me, I shut that door. Universe, that's not an option. I don't go that way. I don't do that. I am here about my father's business. Now, what is my father's business? Show it to me, because my father told me that in my father's house there are many mansions, and I also know that the blessing of the Lord maketh rich, and he had no pain with it. And I also know that God will do exceedingly abundantly more than I can even ask for or imagine. And he also said that I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, give you a good future, and never to harm you. And but surely that goodness and mercy follows me all the days of my life, all the days of my life. And give us this day our bread for this day. That means daily bread, daily supply, daily sustenance. These are promises. Show me where they at and what I need to do in alignment to experience that always. These are not pretty words, family. These are promises. I call on them promises all the time. Okay, universe, I'm entitled to miracles. Where's my miracle? That's lesson 77. I am entitled to miracles. It didn't say you need to ask and then you need to fill out an application and review your application in heaven and see if they, how many miracles are we passing out today? Only 14 million. Well, it's 8.8 billion people, or how many other billions of people on the planet? Only 14 million miracles today? Only 14 million. And then the angels, we ran out of miracles. We ran all around the earth and we gave out the 14 million. Come back tomorrow, shut the door. Heaven don't work like that. Humans work like that. Heaven don't work like that. Okay? I just text Harmony that today. Put my notice in this week. Come on. I am unemployable. I am sustained by the love of God. I am sustained by the love of God. And see, family, I will tell you, the love of God will tell you exactly what to do. The love of God tells me exactly what to do for your abundance, and you have to do it. It's going to be the big, scary things that you probably don't want to do, the things that you've been resisting doing. And I promise you, when you do those big, scary things like figure out Bitcoin, break your brain in Ascension and figure out Bitcoin, because you're on it every day, an hour a day. If you don't know about Ascension, Ascension is the only program that gives you ascension, spirituality, wealth, and destiny. That's the only program on the planet I know. I couldn't find a program like it, so I created it. It's at ValerieLove.com. Go there right now. And it could easily be $100,000 program, and it's not. I've never done a program like this inexpensive, because you know, Reverend Val like her coins, and I like commas. And this ain't got no comma. You need to run until before the price go up. Family, I love you. Hello, come on, Kevin. Kevin said, heaven don't got time sheets to punch in. No clocks, none of it. But we are down here suffering, and you do not have to suffer. God did not create you to suffer. God created you to have a happy, full, blissful life. Freedom, fulfillment, love, joy, peace, bliss, health, vitality, wealth, abundance. That's how you were created. I love you, family. See you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll be coming to you from New Orleans, where I'm headed now. Love you. Peace. Casey out. No problem. That hasn't been solved already.